Hi there, and welcome back to the Lisa Nichols Show, where I share with you the tools that we're all looking for to live the life that we want, to live the life that we deserve, to have the abundance that's our birthright. You know, the first thing I love to do is read your comments, so keep posting. On my episode, Release the Past to Shift Your Relationships, I love this. Jers Chula, oh my God, you gave the best comment ever. You said, quote unquote, BOL, which means breakthrough out loud. You said BOL, stand on your past, not in your past. Woo, I know that. If you got that as a breakthrough, things are beginning to shift for you already. You also said, and my past informs me, and I have the power to make another choice. All of a sudden, Jers, you're no longer in the passenger seat of your life. With that breakthrough right there, you just slid over to the driver's seat, and you end your quote by saying, thanks, I needed that today. And then also on my episode called Shift Your Mindset to Achieve a Better Health, so many people have commented on this one. I love it. Bobby, you said, I'm working to get past all of the noise and to love myself. Oh, Bobby, I know what you mean. You said, I'm working to get past all the noise and to love myself with passion so that I can live the abundant life that I deserve and that I'm destined to live. Thank you for the reminder, Lisa, end quote. Bobby, you are welcome. I'm so excited when isn't it something amazing when you get those reminders when you already think that way or you already know that, but life gets real busy, life gets really noisy, life gets a bit chaotic, and all of a sudden the noise and the chatter becomes louder than your intuition. I love it when we can have moments like this, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, and it's like a layer of acknowledgement, a layer of you're on the right path, or a layer of course correction. Let's start going to the right. You're going a little to the left. Let's go to the right. And so I just want to literally celebrate you and remind you, please keep commenting. That's the place where we see each other, we talk to each other, and I get to see what's on your heart and on your mind, and I definitely want to see that. You know, so many people come to me with the statement, I have a story to tell, and I absolutely agree. Every single one of us has a story. We have more than one story. And what I had to realize was that my story doesn't even belong to me. Your story doesn't even belong to you. So if you've ever felt that calling in your belly to share your story, it's because it's real. That your story, that molehill, that mountain that you climbed over, someone is on their way to that very same experience. Or they're right in the middle of it right now. Or they just got out of it. Or they've been out of it, but they want to know that they're not alone. You know, what I love about our stories is that our stories can be used to inspire people. Our stories can be used to encourage and to connect. What I definitely want you to be really clear on, though, is that every story doesn't have to be told the exact same way. You see, we see all of the traditional ways that people told stories on main stages as stage speakers like myself or like Les Brown or Tony Robbins or someone of that magnitude. And we think that that's the way I'm supposed to tell my stories. Or we read the books, we read the autobiographies, and we read the stories, and we go, oh my God, that's how I'm supposed to tell my story. But the reality is, your stories can be just as valuable in a small circle of children, or seniors, or recovering addicts. Like, your story is applicable everywhere and anywhere. It doesn't require you to become a literary specialist. It doesn't require you to become a stage speaker. If that's the way you want to deliver it, then by all means, get on the stage, grab a pen, write your story, publish it and share it. But if you know your story is simply meant to inspire people and you want to get to those who need inspiration, then go find a group home and share with those children. Find a DUI facility, a drug and alcohol facility with people who have said, I want to change my life. Go and spend time volunteering at a women's battered shelter. Go in a senior facility. Like, there's so many places that your story will be 1,000% effective because there are people wanting and needing to hear them. When I first started my journey, I didn't start my journey saying that I wanted to have over 500,000 people on Facebook. Facebook didn't exist then. I didn't say I wanted to have 7 published books. I didn't say I wanted to be on national media. I didn't say I wanted to be a part of mega books and on stages. I had none of that in mind. All I said was that I have a story and I want to transform lives. And for the first 3 years of my career, I spent my time in the trenches in drug and alcohol diversion facilities and women battered shelters. And I gotta tell you, to this day, over 22 years later, the work that I did in those facilities still is some of the most rewarding work I've ever done. And there are 2 people in particular, one from a woman's facility where women were recovering from the use of cocaine addiction. And the other facility were women who had escaped with their lives from abusive relationships. And there was a woman from each of those facilities in my first 3 years of speaking that followed up with me. And each of them said, I was able to get out of my situation because of some of the words that you used, some of the words that I heard you say. And I gotta tell you, over all the years and all the awards I've received, all the places I've been, all the hands I've had the pleasure of shaking, all the television shows I've had the pleasure of being on, those 2 women still sit as some of the core reasons why I do the work that I do. So if you have a story and you don't believe that it belongs just to you, it's because it doesn't. There's someone waiting to be inspired, encouraged, to grab a hold of their determination again, to grab a hold of their perseverance again, to grab a hold of their faith again. And they'll find that doorway to get to that faith, that renewed passion, that renewed joy, that renewed self-esteem. They'll find the doorway through your story. So don't try to make it perfect. Matter of fact, people love your imperfection more than they love your perfection. Let it fall out. Let it stumble out. Learn how to tell it. Tell it with tears if necessary. Just tell it. Because your story is never meant for you to keep. Your story was meant to help transform us. Now remember, this show is a lot of things, but it's not a monologue. It's not a performance. It's not a place where you come and you just wait to be fixed. Do me, Lisa. No, this show is so much more. This show is a dialogue. This show, if you haven't figured out yet, this is a relationship. This is a form of intimacy. Into me, I see. I'll teach you on that later. So I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what were some of your biggest lessons about your story. How have your reframe occurred just from the last few minutes about your story and how you deliver your story, or who needs to hear your story? What part of you were jolted? What part of you just kind of, my grandma calls it convicted. I was cut a little bit. I got to do something different. Was there something in you that said, whoa, it's time for me to get up and tell my story? And it doesn't matter how I tell it. What matters is that I tell it. I want you to leave a comment below because your comments matter. That's how I see you. I touch you. That's how I can be loved on by you, and I can love on you. Make sure if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting on? Subscribe. And by all means, go get your girls, go get your boys, go get your family, and have them come here and look out for more soul-stirring content in the future. Why? Because this is your home, and we are your tribe. And I am your sister in prosperity and in possibility. And every single time that I say it, I mean it. I believe in you, and I love you. I'll see you real soon.